Hey everybody, welcome back to the Sonic Chronicle. My name is Owen and today we're going to be taking a look at a piece of gear, actually. This is something that I've had in my possession for a little while now, maybe about a month and a half or so. It's something that I've really wanted for a long time. Like, we're talking 20 years maybe? Maybe, yeah, 20 years, holy molies. It's a really interesting instrument. It's not, a standard 6-string. It is something that has some legacy behind it. It has some real credentials behind it. It's a signature model, which is something that I never really thought that I would get, but here it is. It is the it's the original Mike Dirnt signature. So this is his signature P bass. He had this and released this around the time of American Idiot when that came out. This isn't the same type, or the same, I suppose, color scheme as was in the American Idiot music video. In fact, it's inverted in the music video, and it doesn't have the star here. It actually has it up here on this upper horn, but I actually prefer this. I prefer the white version with the black pickguard and the black star at the back there. It's a cool instrument. I fell in love with it the first time that I saw it. When I saw it on the American Idiot music video, I didn't quite know what it was because, I figured out what instruments were, what guitars were based on the shape and based on the pickup configuration and based on the pickguard shape. And some of those things made sense to me. Oh, and of course, the headstock as well. And some of those things made sense to me, but not all of them. So the pickguard is obviously not your standard P-bass pickguard. This is actually a 1955 version P-bass pickguard. I believe it's the same with the headstock. The headstock is a 55 version. Someone in the comments, I'm sure, will correct me on that one if I'm wrong. And the pickup is your standard P-bass pickup. It's important to note that this is actually the Squier version of this instrument. There was also a full-fledged Fender version that came out at the time, which went for, I think it was about, in fact there's one out right now, a road-worn version of this, and I think it goes for about €1,400, about £1,200. This goes for decidedly less, but you can only really get these second-hand now. The reason why you can get these Squier versions second-hand is because they don't make them anymore, right? This is from 2000. I believe this model is from about 2010, though there are earlier versions of it, and it's quite rare to find them online. You can find a couple of them. I've looked on eBay, and you can find them on there for about €600 to €800 second-hand, because they're quite sought after. They're a cool instrument. They look the part, And as I say, it's a signature model. It's a Mike Dirnt Green Day signature model, which adds a little bit of heft. I actually first saw one of these on an adverts website, a second-hand adverts website here in Ireland, and it was going for, I think it was about €280 they were selling it for, and they were selling it for that despite having a pretty bad finish to it. And I say that because someone actually didn't like the star graphic, and what they had done was they had taken time out to wear it down. They had sanded it all down, and I presume that they were going to refinish it in the end, but I was actually going to take a punt on it. Now, when it came to it, I actually didn't end up buying it because I wasn't in the neck of the woods of that person at the time. So I continued my search, right? Kept an eye out, and I eventually found this as an actual bargain, I think, for just over, I think it was about €220 I paid for this. As I said, you find these for about €600 to €800 on eBay, so I think I got a pretty good deal on it. Also, I think it's worth pointing out, I do actually love this thing. It looks the part. It is aesthetically beautiful. It is a nice feeling neck. It fills your hand, but it's not too chunky. Yeah, you can kind of get to where you want to be easily enough. It's a good scale length. I think it's about 34-inch scale length. So it's your standard, I think. And yeah, it's just quite nice to play. It sounds lovely as well. It's very simple in terms of its approach. It's got one pickup, one split pickup. It's got one volume, one tone knob. It's got a standard bridge, and it's got its input jack down here as well. It's got a nice body contour over here, which I believe is a 1957 design choice. I'm sure future me will put in some details around specs on this, but I just think it's worth kind of calling out a few different bits and pieces here. And yeah, it's really nice. It's really nice to play. It feels good. As I say, the neck is really nice. And this is, I suppose, his other signature. At the moment, Mike Dirnt has another signature model out at the moment. It is an Epiphone Grabber G-3, and that is a pretty cool looking bass as well. But that is an Epiphone. That's also going for about €1,400, £1,200. And I just kind of look at that. I can't really justify it, right? Especially when you've got models like this that have been produced in the past. While I appreciate that this isn't, your full-fledged Fender, it is very, very similar in terms of specs. I believe one of the main differences, or two of the main differences on this, is the body material. This body is made out of agathis, whereas the full-fledged version, I believe, is made out of ash. I'm sure future me will stick up some specs. And the other thing is that the bridge is like your standard 4-saddle bridge, whereas, again, I believe the full Fender version had a badass bridge that is also, I believe, on the Grabber G3 now as well. Other than that, pretty much identical, right? It's got this cool, well, apart from the pickup, I believe the pickup is a Fender version, whereas this is, your Squier version. I believe it's a 59 pickup in the Fender version, whereas this is like your standard Squier P-bass pickup. But as I say, other than that, there's not a ton of difference here. And in terms of cost, I don't know if the badass bridge is worth about €1,200. You know what I mean? I'm sure it's very good, but I don't know if it's for me. Especially when all I really care about is owning this piece of history and the aesthetic of it and playing it. However, speaking of playing it, there is something that I don't like as much. The action on it is quite high. Now, this is something that can be ironed out and can be sorted at some point in the future, but when I got it, I found that the neck does have a bit of relief in it. That there's a bit of a bend in the neck, and these saddles, some of them are all the way down, and the action is still a little bit high for me. The tuners could probably be replaced at some point. They're not as fine tuney as I would like, but they're fine. They're passable. They hold tune. It is what it is. And yeah, other than that, I had to give it a little bit of a clean because, again, it was second hand. But other than that, those two things that I don't love, I think it's a good bass. I think it's cool. I think it sounds really cool. And it's not the Grabber 3, which, is fine. But it is still, as I say, a Mike Dirnt signature bass from the American Idiot era that made me fall in love with his playing and fall in love with this style and this aesthetic of bass guitar. Anyway, I'm sure I will look at some specs in a moment, but check out some sound samples. Okay, folks, there you have it. That is me and my take on the Mike Dirnt Squire P-Bass from 2010. Not the new Grabber 3, but you know what? I don't think it matters to me. As always, thank you a ton for stopping by and for watching my videos. I really, really appreciate it. I appreciate you. And of course, if you like this video, please do go ahead and hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of this kind of stuff in the future. And of course, leave me comments in the comment section. I know I got a bunch of stuff wrong about the bass in this video. Feel free to correct me down in the comment section. I'd love to have it. But yes, thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.